Good, I'm good. How are you?
Let's go.
Alex Moreno jumped on and he just disappeared
He's probably got a run club.
the moment we started. There he is. He's back. Hello, Evie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good.
Let's go.
Really good. Alex, how's it going?
It's going beautiful. How's it going for you?
So good. There's no sunset today, and I'm really sad about it. It's been overcast skies, but it's like good
Yep.
weather because we're like, it's perfect to have a fire. So everything smells like wood smoke. We're pruning the garden and we're getting it ready for the spring
Oh, that's
planting.
sick. I love that.
We have a freeze coming in on this coming up Monday. Um,
Really?
I know. It's ridiculous. We literally had 80 degrees yesterday, and then this coming Monday is going to be freezing weather again. So we're just kind of rolling with the punches, but it's nice to have that like transitional phase of like pruning the garden and making sure everything is ready for the next season and weeding everything and picking
I
all
love that.
all the last things. Yeah. We're so excited for a real gardening era to begin.
It's beautiful. I love that. I love that.
You on the way to your run club?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Vacation right there.
Yeah, always stuck in traffic at the worst times ever. And it's funny because like it rerouted me and I was like, no, I already know the way by heart. But I was literally in a halt for traffic because I guess like major car accident happened, so I was at a standstill and I was like, I should have taken the different route. Yeah.
Hello,
Vegan.
Keaton.
Hello. How are you guys doing?
So good to see you.
Great. Good to see you, Keeg.
Good to see you too.
Niara. Hello. All
Hi.
right, we'll get rolling here. What's up, Niara? All right. I'm sure other people might join in. We'll see. Um, all right. Thanks for coming, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great day. Um, okay, so we're gonna go over today. Actually, we have a question first. We're gonna ask everybody. We kind of have a smaller group, so we can do this real quick. But the question today is, well, first of all, thanks for coming. And then today we're gonna go over like a sleep setup. So like we're gonna talk like red light. We're gonna talk like just like sleep setup stuff, like blue light glasses. We're gonna talk about some oils at night. We're gonna talk about beeswax candles, a lot of stuff. Last week we talked about nutrition and food. This whole month is on circadian rhythm. So this is about bettering our selves and our internal clocks so we can be better energy, better sleep, just all around function better. So, anywho, this is week 2 of week 4. And so this is really exciting because this is like a series we're doing. So, thank y'all for joining. The question today is Gemma, you have it better than I do.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you
I
can
got you. I got you. How many sunrises or sunsets have you paused to like be present with and enjoy, or just actually watch the entire duration of in the past week? And if you haven't, then we can like extend to the past month. But think back, how many times have you stopped to enjoy the moment of a sunrise or a sunset?
tell us yours, Gemma, first to lead us off.
I just did it last night, but I think I catch every single sunset. I just caught it last night. It was like the brightest red I've ever seen. And the most beautiful thing is that
Wow.
no single sunset is ever the same. And that's why like I try to catch it every time because it's so precious that it will never be the same and it will never repeat itself.
So true.
It's just like this most epic thing of nature that we get to of creation, the beauty. It just gets the sky gets painted and we get to catch it. And so I really try to do it as many times per week. Probably have caught in like 5 this past week.
Let's go.
Yeah,
You're sunset catcher.
I am
What's
chaser.
up, Luke? Way to join us, Luke.
Hold on, bro.
All right. Who wants to go next? Luke, we're telling our sunset stories for the past week. If you watch the sunset or sunrise, you can or like past month if you didn't catch one this week.
All right. Give me 1 second. Grabbing the kombucha in my journal.
Sounds good.
And
Keegan, what you got, bro?
I mean, it's kind of hard with living in Michigan. We rarely ever see the sun, especially now, like nowadays,
Oh.
with being in January. But I mean, the last sunset I can remember was actually, I believe it was with you, Michael. It was when we went
Really?
to, yeah,
Wild
when we went
roast?
to Wild Roast. Yeah,
Yes, that was a beautiful
that was
sunset.
a really good sunset, dude. That was probably like
Crazy.
the best sunset I've seen in a while. And that was like last month, I believe.
That was such a good sunset. I was actually thinking about that the other day. Wow.
Yeah, that was the last one for me.
We should send a picture to the group chat. Can we send pictures to the chat here, or does that not work?
On here, you should be able to if you're on your phone.
Keegan, but you should send that if you can. That was a mad beautiful
Or to
sunset.
the group message on iMessages or on the Instagram, you should send it.
You should.
Yeah.
Emily, what about you?
I fortunately am working during sunrise and sunset hours, and here in Oregon, Washington area, we don't really get to see a lot of the sun, so I haven't seen much of sunrises or sunsets these days. Last night was a pretty decent one. I went on a little walk,
Yeah.
but nothing too crazy. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, thank you. Hey, that's all right.
Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Let me see. How do you check that?
Just press on the chat.
Oh yeah, that was beauty.
Yeah, Northern Hemisphere people, I really feel so bad for you guys. I'm so glad I don't live there. It's so depressing to miss the sunset and the sunrise all the time. It really feels different. Evie, do you have a sunset sunrise count?
Yo, probably like 2 this week. I'm with Emily. I live in Washington, Oregon. Sun's kind of hiding right now, so unfortunately.
Alexio,
What's up? What's up? Actually, I've always captured every sunset ever since when I was little. I used to like devalue myself a lot, and so I would always go on these long runs. And when I would go on those long runs, I would always stop and admire like the sunset. And I realized that was the same way that God has created me. If I'm able to stop and admire the God's creation, uh, God took his time to perfectly made me, so I found beauty in that. And ever since then, literally, my whole camera was full of sunrises and sunsets. Even last year when Michael was living in Texas, I would text him if we're not like hanging out, and I'd be like, "Bro, go look outside. The sunset's beautiful." And I'm like, if he would be like, oh, I'm busy right now, I'll send a picture to him. And like, even when I was living in Miami, I would like find this perfect spot. I had like this spot like that, and I would stop and sit there and just
wow.
always been.
So good. All right, my turn.
Yeah.
One of my most like favorite sunset things that I've seen was actually on Saturday, or not Saturday night, Friday night. I was working up at a church camp, and that's like it's just a really fun place to be around. And we got like this tubing hill, and it's the highest point in the county. So like you can't see anything else from that tubing hill that's like above you. And it was just the prettiest sunset view from that point.
So sick. What type of sun? What colors did you see?
It was mainly just I mostly caught it when after it was like already set, but like you could still see the pinks and the orange and a little bit of blue.
I love sunsets. Oh, it's beautiful, bro. Thanks
But
for
the
sharing.
most beautiful part was whenever you like turned around and it was like clear sky, there
Yeah,
was just a legendary purple hue.
that's so sweet.
Purple at sunsets is my favorite thing. Like it's my favorite color. But like there's always
And
a different iteration of purple. It's insane. You guys, and then catching the sunset on the East Coast versus the West Coast is the trippiest thing ever because you're like, why is the world on the opposite side? It's
facts.
on the coastline of the East Coast versus growing up on the West Coast. It's very trippy. More sunset pictures. All right. Did everybody go?
Pretty much.
Okay. if somebody didn't go, Michael, did you say how many times
Uh,
sunset, sunrise?
I didn't. I try and catch it when I can. Loki goes down early here, but I saw a beautiful one the other night, and I just sent a picture in the chat. I was actually with Ev. It was in Washington, or maybe it was in Oregon. I'm not sure which state, but I sent a picture. It was really beautiful. Look at it. It was really pretty. I love sunsets. Anywho, so yeah, thanks for sharing, everybody. Sunsets are good.
On.
The reason
And
why sunsets are so good is
Yeah.
because it lowers cortisol when you actually watch it. It helps your brain process. Sun's going down, so you can really focus in on the next cycle, right? Like we have like constant cycles, um, and when we watch sunsets and even sunrises, it signals to our body to start the next process that our body needs to go through for the next just the next time. Like our bodies are on internal clocks system. So thanks for sharing. That was really good. Tonight we're gonna go over sleep setup. So last week we talked about food and what we should eat before. This week we're gonna talk about like a practical steps. So if y'all have like notes, or I don't know if you guys write down anything, but I'm gonna write down like a couple steps or just a couple like tips actually that y'all can use during nighttime to get better sleep to help with the overall circadian rhythm. So obviously last week we talked about like don't eat super late. That was a big one. Mixing water with food, a lot of that type of stuff, like not drinking water right before bed, things like that. So now once we have that step completed, then we can move on to okay, now like sleep setup. So first thing that I do when the sun goes down is I normally turn the red light on my phone. I turn that on normally when the sun goes down. The reason why is because it's a lot less harsh for your eyes. The red light is not as intense as a blue light. The whole thing with like overhead lights and blue lights, TVs, phones, laptops, anything like that, is they're really like harsh on your eyes. So it's signaling to your body saying like, hey, like be awake. Like your cortisol gets spiked. If you don't know what cortisol is, it's a stress hormone. It's a very good thing that we have in our bodies. It spikes in the morning, right? So when you wake up, that's why the sun's up. You're supposed to walk and see that bright light. And at nighttime, it's supposed to go down. And so, anywho, when you're signaling to your body at nighttime through bright overhead lights, right? Like normal overhead lights, just in any house or in like, or on like a TV, a phone. Most of the time, it's phone screens nowadays. You're signaling to your body, be alert, be awake, cortisol spike. And how can you expect to sleep properly if your cortisol is spiked, right? In order to get the best REM sleep, I think in order to produce melatonin, our cortisol needs to be lower. I don't quote me on that, but I'm almost positive that's what it is. And so if our cortisol is high, we can't get the right sleep. And if we can't get the right sleep, it's messing with our circadian rhythm. And if our circadian rhythm is jacked up, that messes with a lot of stuff like energy. There's just so many negative things that can happen when we don't have the proper circadian rhythm. And it's kind of scary because like pretty much like the whole country right now, and probably in a lot of other places in the world too, is like running on fumes. Everyone's kind of like moping around, low energy, or just like not at their like best that they should be. Like our bodies are designed to be like at our best most of the time. Most of the time, like our bodies are designed to be efficient and to be just thriving. Like we should be thriving majority of the time. Like we should. Our bodies are so capable. And so that's just something to think about. So if you can knock out red light and you can turn on a red light on your phone or even on your laptop, it's so helpful. I have a red light too in my bathroom at nighttime, so it's just like a small little like red light in my bathroom. I don't do any overhead lights. So once you have the red light on your phone, because in all reality, like you can say like shut off your phone when it gets dark, but for most people and even myself, that's not really something that I do. I'm sure I'd like to, but for now, just having the red light on is so much better for your eyes, especially so you can wind down much better. It's much less straining for your eyes. Okay, number two. So this one is about other lights. So we talked about overhead lights. We talked about kind of like blue light on our phone. So overhead lights are another thing that are really big that you can kind of knock out. So I don't do really any overhead lights. Like after this call, I have this one on right now for the call, but after that, I'll turn it off. Um, I do beeswax candles and red light. So in the bathroom, I have a red light. In my room, I have two beeswax candles. It's literally like just beeswax. So there's no scents. You have to be really careful with a lot of the candles because they have perfume and fragrance in there, which are phthalates, which disrupt your endocrines, which is a hormone. And so um, if your endocrines are being disrupted, it's pretty much messing with your hormones. It's not a good thing. You don't want that. That's like the same stuff that's in like fragrance, like in perfumes, air fresheners, all that junk is so bad for you. So anywho, the candles you're getting, you get them online. Maybe we can link something in the chat later. Um, but it should be really easy to find. They're just beeswax candles. And honestly, you guys should try it. Because I've noticed it's just so much better. Like when I go to bed now, it's like it's really simple for me to fall asleep. And I think it always has kind of been relatively around that, but I know sometimes it's harder for people to adjust, or maybe they do fall asleep quickly, but not as quick as it could be, or just maybe not as peacefully as it could be. But when you have the candles going, the pure, clean candles, and maybe like a little red light, depending on what it is, it's plenty enough light to read at night if you like reading, which is such a good way to wind down. It's plenty enough light to journal, to do whatever you need to do. I mean, it's really plenty. It's all you need. You don't need a huge overhead light. And you've got to think back. Like back in the day, they didn't have like overhead lights. Like they used candles and other things, and lamps, and little lit lamps. And so that's just something to like think about, and you guys should all try that because it's so nice. Like when it's nighttime, your body's just like you're getting in this rhythm, and you're training your body to say, "Oh, like sun goes down, like now, like I can kind of start winding down." And so like honestly, for me, like I said, like after the call, like candles go on, and like I still like do stuff I was doing before. Like I still like read and like study or do whatever I need to do still, but it's just like a much better way. And then by the time it's time for bed, like I'm ready for bed, and I kind of just fall in my bed, and I kind of just it's a very like natural thing compared to like having a bunch of really bright overhead lights on. It's like, okay, time for bed. You turn the lights off, and it's like, whoa, like the bright, you just had like all these super, super bright lights on, and now you're just you're telling your body like, okay, 5 minutes ago they were all on. Now it's time to shut your body down and go to sleep. Like our bodies just don't work like that. Like they need time to like adjust. It's like we're running on a clock. Like we need to like say, okay, body, like through our eyes, through what we're watching, what we're seeing, all of that. We're saying like, okay, we we need um we need to start winding down, right? We got some candles going, you got some other stuff going, the red light. It's like, okay, let's wind down, which is so good. And you guys really should try it. I'm really curious I know like Keegan, I know Gemma, you do this too, and I think Evan, you do it too, and Luke, you're doing it right now, it looks like. But like you guys should really try this. It's so good. Like it is just like, I don't know, it's amazing. Like the way you feel is just so good. It feels like it's supposed to be. And I only started doing this a couple months ago, really. Maybe a little bit before. I don't really know. But it's definitely been like huge, especially for like sleep and just like the way I feel when I wake up. Like because I used to go to bed at like a decent time. I'd go to bed at like 10, 11, and I'd wake up feeling like just wrecked. And I'm like, what is going on right now? Like what is going on? And I think that had a big part to do with it because I had this blue light right on my face, on my eyes, which was like really bad. And then I had all these big lights on, and then I would just turn the lights off and be like, okay, time for bed. And I was wondering why I'm getting bad sleep. It's because I'm signaling to my body, cortisol gets spiked, like be alert, be awake, right? So, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like when you wake up in the morning, like if you can go for a little walk, 10-15 minute walk. It's not always easy in colder climates. Go for a little walk, go outside, even if it's not sunny, go outside, kind of just look up, kind of like get adjusted to it, get your heartbeat moving a little bit. Like it's good. Like in the morning, Like I'll turn overhead lights on in the morning. That's about the only time I ever use overhead lights is in the morning. I'll turn them on because normally the sun's not really out yet or it's just slowly coming out. I'll turn on the bathroom like overhead light and it'll signal to my body like, okay, we're awake. And you start to like feel awake. Like you start to kind of like move. Um, and so it's not like overhead lights are terrible. It's just like there's a time and a place. And if you want to like maximize your sleep and your circadian rhythm and be at your best, then that's something to be cognizant of. But it's really hard, right? Like if you go to any like sports game or if you go to like any event like past any time the sun's down, like there's normally really bright lights. So it's not always easy. It's everything's kind of set up in the opposite way. But it's at least important to like I feel like people should like understand and know at least and then be able to make the choice, how do I want to go about that? Okay, so number 3, blue light glasses. I don't even have them with me right now. They're in my room. But blue light
Can I make a
glasses are,
note really quick on the previous
yeah.
point?
Yeah, go for it.
Think about how you would calm a baby down to get him to go to sleep in the evening. You probably wouldn't put him in front of a television and then like 5 minutes later say, go lay down, go to sleep, like put your pajamas on, go to sleep. That's really terrible for them, right? You wouldn't put a baby through that process, a child through that process. So if you're catching patterns in yourself of like disrupted sleep, high cortisol, can't calm down, can't fall asleep, disrupted sleep at night, you're waking up, consider how can I calm myself down? If I were even a child, if I were a 3-year-old, how would I take care of myself? I would start chilling things out way earlier. That's an incredible tool of a way to look at it, but it's also what are the ways that our ancestors came to be in this practice of regulating their bodies? 150 years ago, we did not have light bulbs. We had firelight. That's like within 150 years, our entire society has changed with light bulbs, with LED lights, with I have a sewing light on my sewing machine. Like I have I have a laptop in front of me. I have a phone in front of me. I have an overhead light. Like, and the sun is down. Like I have everything is the opposite of what it needs to be because of modern evolution. But that's just 150 years ago. We weren't living this way. So I think the candles are a beautiful option. And man, I had one more, but it escaped me. But
No,
yeah,
we'll get back to it.
also,
That's good.
but
Thank you for sharing. That's actually a really good point. It's true. It's true. Okay, anyhow, I got my glasses, so I actually should be wearing them right now anyways. But this like protects me from blue light on my phone. So really good to use. I don't know, I use them probably more than I need to, but it's really good. It protects the blue light from coming in. It blocks it. But if you turn the red light on, that also is really good. But yeah, this is just like a blue light protector. I still think red light is huge, but even if like you're just like on your laptop for a long time during the day or phone and it's like getting closer to later hours or just in general, like I don't think it's like healthy to stare in a blue light for hours. So if you know you have work to do or you know you're going to be on your phone, these are like really good to have on hand. They're like really cheap. You can buy them anywhere. Okay. And also another thing too, I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to add it in because this is kind of interesting what I'm learning. I have another pair of glasses that I use at nighttime when I drive. So I have really sensitive eyes when I'm driving at night. Like all the big trucks and a lot of like the new cars nowadays have like really, really bright LEDs and it like really messes with my eyes. And I feel like after I drive at nighttime and then I try and go to bed, like it really wrecks my eyes. And I feel like it's messing with my circadian rhythm and just messing with it. Cause you see these bright lights and it literally is so bright. Like, I don't know if it's y'all too, but it really like messes with me and it like sometimes gives me like a headache. So, and I feel like it's not good for sleep because it's like the whole thing of like bright lights. Like it can't be good for you, especially at nighttime. So either way, I did a little bit of research. I didn't do like intense research, but I did a little bit. And I found there's these things called yellow light glasses. I don't know what the difference is from blue light to yellow, but either way, they're not expensive either. And I bought these glasses and they're my nighttime driving glasses. That's like totally optional. Like y'all don't have to like, but I'm just going to share this because it's cool. But yeah, I started driving with them and like, oh, it's so nice. Like the lights aren't as bright. Like I can just drive and it's like, wow, it's so nice. Like the lights, like everything's so like calm and subtle and it's like peaceful. Like I don't know how to explain it, but if you guys like, ever struggle with that, or maybe it's just me, but definitely try it. So that's cool too. Like there's ways to get around all that stuff. So anywho, next option, blackout curtains. This is huge. Blackout curtains are amazing. I actually don't have any at this current location, but at my old place I had them, and I should probably buy some more. But I'm not going to be here for a while, so either way. But if you guys are like at a place where you know you're living, or it's like they're really not expensive either. They're like 10, $20. Blackout curtains. They're so good. If you don't know what it is, it's literally like in the name. You put up these curtains and it blacks out the anything from coming in, even like the night light or moonlight or anything, and like your room becomes pitch black. I remember like the best sleep, like vividly, has been when I had those black out curtains. So honestly, I should probably get another one. But they are so helpful. Like when your room is completely dark, like you can sleep so good. Like it's unbelievable. And if you pair that with like blue light glasses, if you pair it with the red light, the candles, and then you do the blackout curtains, that's like already such a good recipe for really good sleep. And those are all things that like are just like you can do today. Like those are really easy steps. And this stuff is like not expensive. These aren't like crazy wild investments you need to make. So I would say blackout curtains are huge. Also, if you're more like kind of like, you know, traveling or just whatever, you can use one of those like sleep masks. That is what I use sometimes. That works pretty good. It's on your face, so that's something to take note of. But those are really good. So yeah. Next is mouth tape. That's kind of like totally like we're not going to get super deep into this one. Mouth tape is really good. A lot of people have their own opinions about this, but there's a lot of studies that are coming out now and have been out. But mouth tape is really good to get a deeper sleep. Whenever you breathe through your mouth, you're not getting the full sleep that you could be getting. And so breathing out of your nose gives you that deeper, it can put you into a deeper REM sleep. And so I don't know if some of you guys are mouth sleepers or not. It's hard to tell. I didn't think I was until my buddies told me one time. And so anyhow, if you're like mouth breathing and you want to try it, try doing some mouth tape. It's really inexpensive as well. But I promise you'll definitely get better sleep because it's like a proven thing. When you breathe out of your mouth through the whole night, it is, I don't know like too many facts on this one. I can't state
There's
as
a
much.
podcast that I listened to a while ago, but I know it like word for word. They did a study. They were trying to do it like to prove oral development, the impact of
Yeah.
oral development when you breathe through your nose. People in native cultures, so like literally native cultures, okay, in the US, they would put babies on a flat board on their back because that automatically causes you to breathe through your nose, and they would have incredible jaw developments. If you look at native culture
Yes.
oral developments, incredible jaws, really wide, broad, right? Wide and broad, and they had straight teeth, no freaking braces, okay? Your jaw becomes smaller when you breathe through your mouth. One, two, your nose doesn't develop as well. Your breathing system doesn't develop as well because your jaw is crowding your mouth, your teeth is crowding up that space that's supposed to be all for your nose to be breathing. And if you're breathing through your mouth at night, they did a test of like taping their nose shut and only breathing through their mouth, and they developed sleep apnea. That means like not like waking up because your body's in shock, that you're not getting enough oxygen because your body's not developing intaking oxygen and letting out the CO2. You're not going through that process when you're breathing through your mouth. You get really terrible bad breath, like disgusting, yucky smell.
Yes.
Noticing that in
That's
the morning,
true.
your breath smelling bad, it's probably because you're breathing through your mouth. And their memory became worse. They started to experience migraines during the day. And these are perfectly healthy people that before coming into this test, they didn't have these issues. So like immense health actual issues. They also started to notice weight gain and difficulty during cardiovascular, like cardio type training. So yeah, that's really specific to mouth tape. If you notice you have
Thank
any
you.
of those issues, yeah.
That's good. Thank you. That's really good. So for you guys who are like, you know, mewing and whatnot. This is just a new step to get to get better to get better sleep.
My sister
To
does
get
it
better
too,
job.
and if I come into her room in the morning and I try to talk to her, she like is mumbling and she can't like speak, but it's hilarious.
That's so funny. No, all my boys mouth tape. Most of all my boys mouth tape, honestly, and everybody's getting good sleep. So it sounds weird, like people make fun of me, but I'm getting really good sleep. And so, yeah, y'all should try that. That's a good one. Okay,
Hey, Mike.
next one. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Hey, bro, you mind if I share some on the mouth tape one? I use Scotch tape right here. This is the humblest stuff. You should use like medical tape or micro pore tape. I use a simple piece of Scotch tape right here. Your mouth doesn't get dry anymore. It is the best thing ever. Please try it.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
we
it.
got to get you some microcore, bro. I don't think that's how to put that type of tape on your mouth, but I like it.
I'm microplastics maxing too, but it's
Yeah,
fine.
that's fine. Anywho, okay. It's good. We got to get you some microcore. I might have an extra one. Okay, we talked about beeswax candles. We talked about a lot of good stuff, proper sleep setup. Okay, now let's talk about essential oils. So there's some oils here that you can use that will actually lower cortisol. So we talked about like the whole thing about like we want to lower cortisol at nighttime, right? We want to like lower it. We want it to be spiked during the daytime. So this one, so there's Serenity and there's Shinrin-yoku. I'm showing Serenity because this one's been they're starting to have some more info on this. Shinrin-yoku, it's a Japanese forest bathing blend, but this is an oil that I love and I use every single night, and that lowers cortisol. So I always diffuse this one. Like almost every night I diffuse this one. I have a diffuser right next to my bedside throughout the whole night. I have a 5 hour and 10 hour cycle on my diffuser. I have it diffused and I feel like it helps so much with sleep and just yeah, really good for cortisol being lowered, kind of helps kind of just like give a serene feeling. And kind of just like yeah, kind of just like calms. It's a very like calming blend. And so I use that every night. I rub it on the bottom of my feet along with another oil called Serenity. And those are amazing for just lowering cortisol, especially Shinrin Yoku, and then also just like better sleep. And Gemma, I don't know if you want to have any things to say about the oils, but that's probably my final step
Those
on
two are the
yeah,
best two blends you could possibly pick for lowering cortisol.
yeah. So good. So those are so I mean, yeah, so I use the oils. Diffusing is amazing. And then I think that it sounds like a lot, but once you kind of get it locked down, it's really just like a simple night routine. It's kind of just like brushing your teeth. You kind of just like put your oil in the diffuser, rub it on the bottom of your feet, breathe it in, mouth tape on, and you kind of just like go to sleep. So I'm gonna run back through real quick, and then I have one more thing to say, but yeah. So if we can lock in like our proper sleep setup, we can do red lights, beeswax candles, right? If we can do blackout curtains with maybe some mouth tape, maybe some oils too, right? Like our sleep is going to be so much better. I think a big thing though, like if you only had to pick a couple, I think a big thing would be like candles and red lights. Like I think that would be if you're like, oh, that sounds like so much, it sounds confusing. Like I would just say start there. Like try and like make it a habit to like be like, no, I'm not gonna like be on like a big like big overhead lights tonight. Like I'm gonna like have a beeswax candle, like a good candle, not like a scented candle, like a good beeswax candle, health like a very pure, make sure it's like pure, make sure it's not, full of scents and fragrances, but just like a normal candle and maybe a red light on your phone. Like that's such a good way to start. And then if you're like, whoa, this is like really working, which it will, then you can be like, okay, maybe I should try some oils. Maybe I should try mouth tape now. Maybe I can try like blackout curtains to like really go to the next level. Cause there's levels to it. Like it really just depends how far you want to take it. But everything I just listed is what's worked for me. And I know a couple other people on the call. But that was like my sleep setup. That's exactly what I do every night. Um, and so,
And those are all super doable too. I want to say
yeah, like,
something
yeah,
about cortisol. When it's always heightened, it has terrible effects on the body, right? We know cortisol is not your best friend. You can have a little bit of it in the morning, You can curb it with having a solid breakfast, but if it's redundant and persistent and chronic high levels of cortisol, it's going to reduce your body's ability to grow and develop. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Adrenal glands.
30 minutes a day spending outside in nature will start the reduction of cortisol levels. Things like Shinrin-yoku, which is the forest bathing blend, it was formulated to replicate the effect that your body has when it's out in nature. It has the chemical effect because it goes through your nose and the registering system it goes through in your brain and in your face basically. It goes and affects the rest of your body because of what you smelled. It has the same exact impact of you walking out in nature. So if you don't have the Shinrin-yoku blend, go spend 30 minutes outside minimum every day to bring your cortisol levels down. That's going to regulate your brain's ability to learn during the day and actually remember and heal during the night and then keep that cycle going. So this you said the body keeps a clock. It's a 24-hour clock and it resets every day. You can affect that snowball positively, or you can affect that snowball negatively every single 24 hours, and you have the ability to reset it. But cortisol is huge for that factor because I was just reading in a book like 2 hours ago how it depletes your brains. It's called the BDNF, and that is the fertilizer for your brain neurotropic factor. It just it's what helps your brain develop and learn new ideas. And if your cortisol is too high, that hormone can't produce.
So
And
good.
yeah.
So that's kind of like gonna finalize the sleep setup. Next week, I believe it's not confirmed yet. It either be next week or the week after. We're gonna have hopefully our guy on, and he's gonna talk about adrenal glands and caffeine and the effects of that. And he'll also probably talk about overhead lights and stuff too. But the whole concept is like if we never give our cortisol a moment to just like rest, like if it's always spiked, we're causing high inflammation, chronic stress, unnecessary stress, like all of these things that our body is like fighting against. Like we're wasting like energy on fighting this. You wonder why you wake up tired. You're like, I'm so tired. I don't know why. Like I went to bed early. Like I don't know why. Like I'm doing all the right things. But if you're never giving your cortisol time to like stress, or if you're never getting your cortisol time to just like calm down and go low, it's always fighting. And that's going to shock your adrenal glands. And we're going to get deep into adrenal glands. I'm really hoping we can get our guy on to talk about it. Really cool guy. He like trains people for Ironmans and stuff. And I've just been learning a lot from him. But it talks about like your body's like on overdrive. Like you're constantly just overworking your body, and you wonder why you're tired all the time. It's because you're overworking things and you don't even know it. Like it's just how like this world and how like this like modern society is how it is right now. The normal is not sustainable. That's why you see so many people that are just like on overdrive. Like they're so tired and exhausted. They need a nap every day. It's like I can't. It seems like you can't get away from it, but it's so doable. You can fix it. These are things that can be fixed, but it's also important to know, like, you can also really damage your adrenal glands, like for life. And so it's like important to know this and get on it because, yeah, it's just like, it could be, yeah, it could be a really good thing to your advantage, or it could be like a bad thing. And I only started learning about this because of like training and for athletic reasons, but I quickly like realized that this applies to like a lot more than just like training for something. Like this is like everyone should hear this. Like this is really important information. So
We have about
if that
5 to 10 minutes. Sorry.
no, you're good. No, I was yeah, no,
Questions?
no, you're good. If anyone has questions, yeah, questions, or if they have like a sleep, I also want to hear y'all's like sleep routines. If y'all have anything or questions or anything, y'all can shoot.
I can go with the sleep routine. Yeah. Guys want to
Yeah.
hear?
Yes, we
Uh,
do.
so I mean, kind of the same with you, Michael. I mean, like do a little Shinrin-yoku Serenity,
Yes.
right? A little bit of that. I'll turn my red light on. I have it on right now. Do that. I have a red light lamp that I'll turn on late at night, and I'll usually just read, write, or play my guitar. One of those three, just to help relax my body and just like calm it, and it's soothing to me. So that really helps. I also do a little bit of magnesium spray, put that on the bottoms of my feet.
That's
That
so good.
really helps. And then
Wow.
micropore tape for mouth tape and
Yes.
sleep mask.
Yes.
And I
Fair.
got it.
Come
I got it
on.
all. I got it all.
Bro's locked in.
You really do.
So
That's crazy. I didn't realize we had like the same setup. I use that same tape, bro.
yeah, $12 for like three.
3. Yeah, you get like 3 on Amazon. It's such a good deal.
That's awesome. That's so good. You know, last night I did this thing. I was I was up late with my friends, but I was like feeling wired. So I have a red light lamp. It's like a four-prong lamp that's like pretty big and you can like bend the arms in every way. And it's meant for like healing purposes. Also, you could use it as a lamp. And it has a timer on there. So I laid on it under it for 30 minutes, just like stretching, doing yoga on my carpet in my room, and read a book while I was doing it. So it directly red light on your skin has incredible benefits for like bone healing, skin healing, circulation, scar and wound healing, stuff like that when it's close to your body. And then it also like calmed my body down like crazy, and I was like falling asleep with the book in my hand. So that was
What?
something I did to check myself because I couldn't set up the environment to support me for the evening.
That's sweet. Wow.
I have a question about the blue light glasses and stuff. So I've been in front of a computer a lot lately, more than normal with my job and stuff. I've figured out a way to like make it more of like a warmer screen, not fully red, but definitely a lot warmer than blue light. I'm wondering if like it really is worth it to get the blue light glasses if I already have like a warmer screen, or what are your thoughts kind of on that?
Yeah, that's really good. Okay, so I think I would. I don't know. It's like $20. Maybe
Mhm.
it's less than that. And you can get like a 2-pack. Um, I think it's worth it for sure just to have them. But also, I think you can, I don't know if you're on a Mac or whatever you're on, but I know you can like have like you can download like a software that will turn your laptop red. I don't know exactly how that'll work for your laptop exactly, or even if you'd want that, because sometimes you just need to
Depending
be
on
able to
your
see
job.
things.
Yeah, depending on your job. Like if you're a
Right,
photographer, my friend's a photographer, she can't turn her
right.
screen red. And she has to get specific blue light blocking glasses that don't change the color of your screen or the
Mhm.
white,
Right.
but will still have the beneficial effects. And I would only wear blue light blocking glasses like 2 p.m. onward because
Mhm.
during the
Yeah.
day you do want to be getting the boost to your body to produce energy, and that's what blue light does. But
Yeah.
after a certain point, you got to start chilling out, and so that's like minute or the effective dose. Like everything's good in its own time.
Mhm. Yeah, I had it like fully red for like a couple hours and I was like I cannot see anything. So I was
Literally.
like, down a little bit. But okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that answers. That's good.
There is a software, actually, my uncle just did it from my mom's computer. Not a software, but like a setting that you can do all of your background to be black and all your letters on your screen to be white. And that's a lot easier on your eyes and on your
Oh, wow.
body to read and things. And then you read faster also. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not sure
good.
how to do that, but it might be cool.
I even did the dark mode on my phone during the daytime, and I feel like even during the day, like it's so much less straining on my eyes. I feel like I was using so much energy to like look at my phone. I used to hate dark mode, but now I'm on dark mode, and even during the day, it just feels so much like less straining on my eyes.
It's good.
Nayara, you have a question?
Yes, I have a question. I have recently, okay, like every once in a while, I feel like I get really sensitive and like prone to headaches when I'm on my phone for like short periods of time. And it's like my forehead just like hurts. I copied my friend and started using my iPhone in grayscale and with the reduced white point. And which is, I feel like reduced white point, it literally just is like you can darken your screen but like even further, and that's helped me tremendously. Like I feel like I can look at my phone without getting a headache in like a few minutes.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't really know what that's about, but yeah, it works.
I think that
Yeah.
has to do I would love to get like an eye expert of some kind, but it has to do with like keeping your eyes in one position. Like if we were out and about moving in nature, we would be like rotating so much, like looking, our eyes would be everywhere. So it's like actual eye visual muscular exercises that where your eyes are like always locked into one place. The amount of stimulus you're getting through that one screen is the effect of it is reduced obviously when the screen is less bright, but when it's more bright, it wears you down faster. And I think that has to do with like us not exercising as humans should in our fullest capacity 24 hours a day, right? 12 hours a day. If you were like out in nature, exposing yourself to the elements.
True. It's so
That
good.
actually that reminds me of something really interesting that I learned up. It was a couple years ago now, but I did a pretty. It was a mild deep dive into why you see less colors. I feel like whenever I was a kid, I would like look at outside or whatever, and it would just be so much more vivid. And that has to do mainly with your brain's developing less, so you experience things less.
Mm.
But in that, there was a really interesting thing I found of in China in their school system. They have a thing where for their equivalent of sixth grade and lower, they have them instead of being locked in every, I think it's 50 minutes, they spend 5 minutes where they'll focus on something that's 20 feet away. They have like certain markers for it, 20 feet away for 30 seconds, and then they'll do 30 seconds close, 30 seconds away. And they'll do that for 5, 10 minutes.
Wow.
And
Wow.
they don't have as many eye problems as they do in China. And
Wow.
it's not like a thing looking at a screen like melts your brain. It's the thing of whenever you focus on one thing locked in for a long amount of time without moving, without repositioning, you cook your brain.
Yes. Yes.
And like that,
Whoa.
that's not something I do. I have a 50-minute timer where I like focus, but I am always sure that I'm always moving in whatever I'm doing.
Wow.
And you know what? I'm gonna share the sleep routine. I got my scotch tape. Scotch tape. Wouldn't recommend it, but it gets the job done. Get biblical, and then some writing. That's like my wind down routine. Trying to get on the guitar like Keegan, but
Yeah.
got that. And then supplementation wise, I just hit. Um, Surprised you guys really didn't mention this, but if you take orally magnesium and either threonate or glycinate, it is some of the best stuff you can take. Take it 30 minutes before bed, but I sometimes take it right before bed if I'm like late or whatever. And every single person I've ever given it to has noticed it improved sleep quality. And you can't call it just placebo because I gave it to my buddy Jake, he's like a football athlete, and he started taking it. He took it for 3 weeks, slept better, got stronger while he was cutting weight, which is not something you should be able to do in strength training. And so it does improve sleep quality.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And coupled with that, chamomile tea is legendary for winding down.
Yes.
But you have to go out of your way to do that. So
I love that. Thank you so much. Yeah, nailed
Wow.
said with the magnesium. You know why that is because magnesium is a precursor to melatonin. It allows melatonin to be produced at higher levels. It feeds the hormone melatonin. People supplement with melatonin, which reduces your body's natural ability to produce that hormone. Magnesium is a mineral that your body always needs to be replenished with. We talked about this on the last call of like actually going into the ocean. Keegan does the magnesium spray. It's like there's topical forms of magnesium that can be absorbed. There's a total of 4 forms that you can take internally. And you should be having 5 milligrams of magnesium per pound of body weight every day. And because it always gets spent, cortisol, the use of cortisol is the depletion of magnesium. But you need magnesium to actually be able to produce melatonin at 9 p.m. That's what helps calm you down, knock you out. That's why taking it in the evening helps you just like totally wind down because it's feeding that melatonin hormone production. I
So
love it.
good.
Yeah, love it.
Wow. All right. Well, that's it for tonight, guys. Thanks for joining us. We're next week, like I said, today's week 2. We have 2 more to finish off the month. 4-week series for the month of circadian rhythm. So I hope y'all learned something wonderful, and I hope you guys have a great week. And yeah, we have 2 more weeks left. I think we're doing movement and then one on our adrenal and caffeine. I'm not sure which order that's going to be in, depending on when we can get our guy Gabriel to come in and speak. But yeah, hope y'all learned something. And yeah, thanks for coming, everybody. So good to have you guys.
So good to see y'all.
Perfect.
See you next week.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Bye, y'all.
Thanks, y'all.